I'm in love with the cocoa. I ain't even too crazy about that song, but it's catchy. It's catchy. What's up, KC's Corner? I'm back at it. It's your boy KC here, Super Bowl week, and I ain't even gonna waste too much time because I got one of the KC Corner veterans, one of the KC Corner All Stars, my man Alan Knox. He's on here, one of my trusted sports aficionados. So I had to talk to him about maybe the biggest game of the year. Hey Knox, what's good, baby?
What's good, King? What's good, man? Just checking in with you. You're excited for the game? I know you got mixed emotions because I know you feel about the Seahawks.
Oh, there's no mixed emotions here. There's no mixed emotions. There's one emotion. I hope they go down and they go down hard.
I can't see that happening, but I can see how people could think that they can lose.
Okay, before we go into the game, let's travel back in time about 2 weeks ago. I'm on the phone with you at halftime of the NFC Championship game, giddy as hell. You know what I mean? I'm feeling great. Russell had already thrown 3 interceptions, and then he throws one more to put the icing on the cake, in my opinion. But somehow, some way, that game goes out of the grasp of Green Bay and into Seattle. Before I get into Seattle, we had this conversation I was on the train, headed back up north. We was on the phone. I think Aaron Rodgers, this has to go on his record. It has to.
I can't. I always disagree with you. You're very harsh on Aaron Rodgers. The guy does have a Super Bowl. Let's not forget it.
Okay.
The guy did go on the road, get that Super Bowl. Let's not forget it.
Okay.
The guy, he just doesn't play good against you guys. I mean, usually Seattle first game kind of aberration. Nobody likes Seattle up. Let's not get that twisted.
Very true.
You're not gonna light them up. He did enough to win the game. If that guy just blocks and Jordy Nelson catches the onside kick, guess what?
Game over.
And Rodgers has beat Seattle to go to the Super Bowl.
Now,
that's just like saying I don't harp on Cap for last year's NFC Championship too much.
Well,
he had 3 turnovers.
Yes.
But
Cap played a hand like that's the blood is on Cap's hands a little bit now. And again,
it's not really I look inside the game and Vernon Davis don't punk out after the first hit when Cam Chancellor hits him. You stop playing. You gotta attack the middle of the field against Seattle because the perimeter is locked up.
Now, 2 things can be equally true. Aaron Rodgers, just like in the Cap game last year, the Niners, they're not in that game if Colin Kaepernick isn't playing. Colin Kaepernick, last year at least, was the only guy that could compete against the Seattle Seahawks on some level because of his running ability and his ability to be multidimensional. Same thing here for Aaron Rodgers. There's not a lot of guys, if any guys, who go in there and have a lead like they did in Seattle against that Legion of Boom, against that defense. But just like last year, Cap does play a huge role in it because he turned the ball over 3 times, including the game-winning one. Aaron Rodgers, a turnover in the end zone, got picked off by Sherman in the end zone, and him and McCarthy tag team to go for that field goal on the one.
No, I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers after the game, nobody really knows. Aaron Rodgers hit McCarthy. Right?
This is true.
You can look at him, the way he looks at McCarthy sometimes, and you can just tell, like, what is he doing? So
this
on the
is true.
fourth down, I think Aaron just can't say we're going for it. Like, he can't do that.
Right.
But at the end of the game, Aaron was like, we weren't normally as aggressive as we usually are, which he's saying we never went for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, one thing on Aaron Rodgers, because I definitely don't want to make this a Packers podcast. He had about 5.5 minutes to get 1 first down to end the game. Couldn't do it.
He also got the ball back and drove down the field in a minute and got them a field goal so the game over.
This is very true. I can't take that away from him. I don't know. I'm just looking at him. He had the 1 Super Bowl run that was kind of soft, if you ask me. I mean, let's just be honest. It was kind of soft. Who'd they beat in that first game of that playoff run? I can't even remember.
Aaron Rodgers a winner. Let's just put it on the table.
I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me take that back. I don't want to say he's not a winner because he has the Super Bowl. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but he's lost a lot more times than he's won.
What do you? Only one team hosts the trophy at the end.
So okay, well look, here's my thing. How are we gonna continuously get on Peyton Manning for his playoff situations and just give Aaron Rodgers a pass?
I don't get on Peyton Manning.
Well, at least you're being consistent.
People are stupid. Like, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. Let's not get it twisted. How many multiple Super Bowl quarterbacks are playing right now? One?
Just one, possibly two. And look, I want to say this. I'm playing complete devil's advocate on Aaron Rodgers. I'm playing complete devil's advocate on him. I understand he's great. I'm all about being fair. I'm all about being equality. And people kill Peyton Manning all the time because of his playoff situation, which I think is unfair. But if you're going to kill Peyton Manning, we've got to go after Aaron. I'm not even saying kill Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying don't forget what's going on with Aaron Rodgers.
We're not forgetting, but you do come across and you want to throw him. You want to make him like he's almost bad.
No.
I know Aaron Rodgers because my team is in that division. I know what he does. That dude is serious with it.
He's very serious.
I don't really think he comes up small a lot of times. I mean, he came up small. He couldn't. No team. The only team that was beating San Fran was Seattle in the last 2 years.
Right.
Like, nobody's beating them.
Right.
Like, I don't care who you want. Like, if that play didn't happen last year in the NFC Championship, where there's a couple of factors, man, but they had that game won. Right. Nobody was beating that. If San Fran would have went to the Super Bowl, they would have did the same thing to the Broncos that Seahawks did to the Broncos.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, look, here live on the airwaves, Aaron Rodgers, I apologize if I've been too hard on you, okay? All right, you're great. You just came up small again, but you're great. Okay, you're great. You're great. On from the Packers, on to the Super Bowl 49, New England versus Seattle. Just off top, I'm telling you right now. Obviously, I'd like for New England to win, but I also think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna get this one, and I think that. I think that the biggest thing to me, and you tell me how you feel about it, is I think New England's the matchup between the New England defense and the Seattle offense is better for New England. They got the advantage there. And while I don't think they'll go crazy on the Seattle defense, I do think the New England offense is capable of putting up some points. Well, if that makes any sense at all, what you think?
I think this game is going to be won in special teams and turnovers. I don't think any team is going to dominate. Like, if you say that, who's going to get open on New England? I mean,
Gronk.
Yeah, he still has that man in the middle, too. Cam Chancellor.
Edelman.
Who's going to get open on?
Lane.
Nah, see, Lane is very underrated.
He's not terrible, but he does get some work put on him.
You think they're going to win with Edelman getting open on? That ain't. First of all, let me tell you the thing about Seattle. What happens is this. This is the key. After you catch the ball, you get punished.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't really like Edelman. I don't even know if he's going to make it through the game. Like, I don't even know if he's going to make it through the game coming across the middle where he stick the sweet in there. No, you know, like, nah.
Right.
I don't think he's going to make it.
Right.
And then you got who they dink and dunk.
Right.
And what happens when you dink and dunk against Seattle, you leave the chance of that ball coming out.
No.
No more Deflategate. Like, we got
Deflategate. Goodness, good Lord. Well, let me ask you this though, because this is what I mean. I've kind of seen and what I may think. Isn't the dink and dunk maybe the way to beat Seattle? Isn't that what San Diego did earlier? You're not going to go over the top and beat these guys.
No,
you got to have a tight end that can get open and can make plays, Gronk, and you dink and dunk. You know, they're gonna give you the underneath stuff. They're just not going to give you anything over the top. Isn't that the way to beat them?
That's the way to try to beat them. But that leaves room for turnovers. If you're going to take 12, you're not doing a 12-play drive on there. You do that once a game, maybe. I see that happen in Seattle one time a game where somebody has a long drive. Other than that, you're not going to have a long drive. And they play a lot of dink and dunk teams.
Right.
They play Kansas City, the dink and dunk team.
Right.
They lost to them.
Right.
Who else?
San Diego did it to him.
Actually, San Diego exploited them with, like you said, the tight end.
Now, Cam Chancellor was hurt at the time, too. But they were able to get a couple of times.
It was
they were
159 degrees.
This is true. Turn the heat up. Turn the heat up in Arizona, man. Where's the ball boy when we need him? He can't do it with the ball, but he can turn that heat on up in AZ. Come on, turn the heater up, baby.
I don't know. This is my true opinion about the game. I don't know who's gonna win, but I would say New England should win, but everybody thought Denver should win last year, and they chose them. So I'm just saying.
I think
Seattle defense got heart of a champion right now. They not trying to they don't come in half stepping. They're all healthy. I mean, they're all gonna play. Let me
right.
say they're healthy, but they're all gonna play. And I just think that the reason why I'm gonna say New England should win is because I don't really think that pass rush is gonna get home on Brady.
Interesting.
I don't think they'll get home.
You know, they brought up a point. I was watching First Take, and people talked about the Seattle bringing the pressure and everything, and I thought Skip actually brought up a good point. Against Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers really wasn't under pressure like that, like you would think, especially at home. So I don't know if that was something schematically that Green Bay did, being in the shotgun the whole time, or they just had an off day. But if they give Brady the kind of time that Rodgers does.
No. This is what I say. This is how good they are. Aaron Rodgers is hands down the best quarterback in the league talent-wise. There's nobody who can do what he does. Nobody can throw like he does with the accuracy, on the move, all that. Nobody can do that. Let's put that to bed.
Right.
Nobody can do that. If he had all that time, and to me, Green Bay receivers are better than New England receivers. And nobody can get open.
Yeah, but they don't have Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb are not the same type of receiver that even a LaFell and Gronk is, and a Edelman. I mean, even after Cobb and Nelson, who else you got there? I mean, not that they're bad. I'm just saying, who else are you? Adams was balling. He was balling the week before, but did he really put in that work against Seattle?
Who does? Who gets open against Seattle? Like, who gets open?
Kelvin.
Even Des Bryant only had a pedestrian 5 catches for 65 yards.
Odell Beckham got open, but I see what you're saying. And there's no Odell Beckham on New England.
Odell Beckham they don't got nobody even close to what that dude.
No.
So this is what I say. I don't see Seattle's team. I see Marshawn still doing his thing. I still see Brady finishing like 22 for 36, something like that, 235, a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I see that kind of. I see 21-17, and I don't know which way. I don't know which way.
Now, here's the one thing that people say about New England that I'm not quite sold on. And when we were talking before off the air, you started to bring it up, and I'm not quite sold on the X factor of LeGarrette Blount. I heard the same thing last year after they beat up Indianapolis. I think he had almost 200 yards or something, 4 touchdowns, and they're like, oh, they got a running game, LeGarrette Blount now, blah, blah, blah. And he was nowhere to be found against Denver. So it almost seems like deja vu again, where people are like, oh, LeGarrette Blount, he did his thing against Indianapolis. Watch out for him against Seattle. I kind of don't expect him to put in that kind of work. But, I mean, what you see? I mean, Lacey did a little work, but he wasn't really active. So, I mean, what you see?
Yeah, you're not catching wreck on Seattle. I'm not saying that you have to catch wreck on them. I'm saying what you have to do is that you can't become one-dimensional against them when you're done. Yeah, it'll be a blowout.
Right.
So, even as LeGarrette Blount don't go for, 100, which he won't, you gotta pound it in there at least 20, 25 times.
Right.
Just to keep them honest. Because if they can just put their ears back and say, all right, they're not running no more, They're going to be like the Giants in the Super Bowl. They're going to be hitting Brady.
Yeah, and if you're able, if you're schematically and score wise still able to hand it off to him 25 times, that's a good sign. Because obviously it means you're not one dimensional. You're not playing from behind. You still have the ability, whether you're getting 2, 3, if in a good way 4 yards a carry, you're still able to handle that thing off. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get to 25 carries, that would probably be a really good sign for what's going on in the game. The two big matchups I have, and I think I'm not breaking news, but I think they decide the way this game goes. Number one, New England's defense against Marshawn, and number two, Cam versus Gronk. How do you see those matchups going?
Cam versus Gronk. I think Gronk could do what he does. I don't think he ain't gonna have like no stupid retarded 10 catches, but 100-some yards. He had 4 or 5 catches, get him like 60 yards, and I don't think he'll back the end zone.
Oh yeah.
They know that's the only. They're looking at. I was looking at it like this. They know that the only person who can really hurt them or they're scared of is Gronkowski. They're not really for spell. Get out of here, LaFell. They're not really playing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to focus on him. If they got to help on him, and there's multiple people on Seattle who can cover Gronk. Like, Bobby Wagner can cover Gronk.
Right.
Like, Champa can cover Gronk. You don't got the mismatch like he's doing against a lot of other people.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, they could, but I mean, the size and the athletic ability and the connection that him and Brady have, I don't know. But I don't know. Gronk doesn't ever really go off against Baltimore too much, does he?
No, I mean, they put him out.
This is true, too.
I think
that's when he hurt his ankle in that AFC Championship game.
They put him out the last time or whatever. But
right.
I don't know what he did. I didn't really see. He was catching that right against them. But Marshawn, you talking about Marshawn now?
Right.
He going to get off.
You think he going to get off?
He going to get off. Marshawn going to get his 115 yards against that defense.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, you know what, Marshawn, basically, at the end of the game, you don't even want to be near him.
Right.
Like, he's just unique. Let's keep it real. He's the best running back in the league, barring Adrian Peterson.
Right.
Let's keep it 100. Like, he has the most yards after contact. He don't fumble. Like, what you want.
Right.
He catches out his backfield.
So he gonna do his thing. So if he's doing his thing, I mean, I gotta think that bodes huge for Seattle.
They do, but what happens is what New England has to do, and I don't know if they're capable or why teams don't do it. When that read option comes out, you have to punish Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, whether he hands it off or not. Because after a while, if you punish him, guess what? He's going to keep handing it to Marshawn, so you're going to know who's going to get the ball.
Right. Or if you're not that, he's a tough dude. I don't expect him to be afraid. But even if he keeps it, he's got to be thinking. Even in that split second, like he might be thinking, "Damn, either with a handoff or not, I'm gonna get smacked." Like just that lack of carefreeness is big. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree. They gotta hit him. The other thing, it's kind of like, I don't know if it's myth anymore or what, but the whole idea of Bill Belichick with 2 weeks. I mean, does that come into play with how they're able to perform, how they're able to scheme? Is that a huge advantage anymore? Or, I mean...
I don't really think anything's an advantage against Russell Wilson. You know why? People fail to realize. He goes against the best defense in the league every week in practice. That's what people don't even get in their head.
Right.
That Wednesday practice, live, come on, man. He ain't really scared of nobody.
Right.
So, don't care how you game, like, you're not going to get a better defense on the field.
Right.
That's why he's so good.
Right.
Like, if you practice against the best player, if you was in basketball, take that, and you practice against the best basketball player every day, when you see somebody else on the court, you're going to be like, whatever.
Yeah, you ain't sweating it.
Right.
With that being said, Now, don't get me wrong. They are not anywhere close to the Seattle defense, in my opinion. But he may be facing something just as close in that secondary, or the closest he's going to face with the Revis and Browner on the outside. So, I mean, that's a situation. Who gets open on Seattle? Especially with no Richardson out there. Richardson, while he wasn't a great rookie, he was good at what he did. He had the speed to stretch the field. He's somebody that you had to look at. Now, they really got two guys in Luke Wilson.
Listen, I'm going to tell you. I was listening to a radio show today, too. I feel like one of these broadcasters saying it's controlled chaos, the way Russell Wilson plays football. You ain't nobody, I don't care how good you are, you ain't covering for 6-7 seconds.
Right.
You're not doing it. So when he drops back out of read option, guess what? Everybody's in man-to-man coverage. Guess what happens now? He breaks contained 5 times. How good Revis and all them are. Guess when they get beat? When you got to cover for 5. And Brown is not even, like, crazy.
Right.
So, I mean, Doug Baldwin's going to get open. He's going to have 5 catches. Hurst is going to have some catches. They're going to be all right because you know what? You're going to have to commit to the running game. And whoever's in that slot, receiver, they're going to get the ball. Or the tight end, somebody's going to get open. You can't cover everybody. You can't cover everything.
Now you will probably know this a little better than me. Isn't I don't know if it's the free safety or the strong safety, but isn't the safety play pretty good in New England? One of them is really good, right? I think it's
McCourty's back there, right? And
I think McCourty's the one I'm thinking of. McCourty's pretty good, right?
Chung's there.
Yeah, it's not Chung I'm thinking of. It's definitely McCourty. McCourty's pretty good, right?
McCourty's pretty good. Their back four is pretty good.
Right.
I'm not taking nothing away from him, but like I'm saying, when you got to cover for 5-6 seconds and you don't know when the ball's coming out, it's hard to jump a route when you don't know the ball's coming out.
Right. All right, so you got 21-17 one way or the other. I'm going with New England, and I think that Seattle's one of the all-time greats on defense. I'll give that to them for what they've been able to do the last 2 years, 2.5 years. I'm not going to not show respect. They're one of the all-time greats on the defensive end and what they bring to the table there. I just think New England's the better team. I think they're better on offense. I think they're very good on defense, and I think they're good on special teams. And I think coaching is a slight edge to New England as well. So now, like I said, the X factor is how good Seattle's defense is, but I think everywhere else New England is better. Or they're either equal or better.
And I can agree with that. And then the X factor is the heart of the champion. So we'll see.
What do you think? Because I didn't think anything was going to be bigger than Deflategate, but this whole Marshawn Lynch thing is, in the last 2-3 days, completely overshadowed it and almost made it even to a certain extent. Because I thought Deflategate was a bad thing for New England. I was like, oh, it's a distraction, yada, yada, yada. Marshawn Lynch in the last 2 days has almost flipped the script. You know what I'm saying? I think they're both ridiculous that they're spending more than 20 minutes on either subject. But, I mean, this Marshawn Lynch somehow has become a big thing. Do you see either one of those playing not a role in the game, but I mean you see it all the time. You know, little things throughout the week, you know, end up taking the focus away or making the lights too bright on somebody. You think either one of those play a role?
No. I think Marshawn Lynch, people don't understand that this guy. If you ever follow Seattle, and you follow a real Rob report where Slovak used to do filming and stuff like that.
No.
On the team, he never answered them, and that was his boy. So
Right.
This is just who he is.
Right.
I just think Marshawn just wants the ball, and that's it, and I respect that.
Right.
So, I don't think of it as being a big factor or anything like that. I just think that people are blowing out of proportion. The Deflategate is what it is. I don't think that even really helps them. I think it helps more the running back than Brady being a they fumble way less.
Right.
They're the lowest fumbling team in the NFL. Nobody fumbles. Really?
Right.
They play in the worst position. So, I mean, I think that's what helps.
Now, the one thing that I did hear, and let me know if I'm making something out of it or what, but I just, if I was a Seahawks fan, I'd be uneasy hearing them say something like this, where Doug Baldwin was like, oh, we want Marshawn Lynch to win the MVP now because of this. I mean, it may not affect him because what they do is run, so it may not be an idea, but I mean, for him to be like, I want him to win the MVP now because of this. If that's not what your game plan is, let's not get out of your game plan just to feed a weak ass media story. I mean, is that something? It's little things like that could pop up during the week that you don't want popping up. Is that something? Nothing? Reach?
That's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
It's also Doug Baldwin saying it too, so nobody really cares.
I don't think it's anything at all. I think that what'll happen is they're just a team, and they know what to go through. They know what they want. I don't think outside distractions really bother them. So I think that season Super Bowl champ, and this is all fun and games because they went through it last year.
Yeah, man, my guy. Thank you for getting on here, man, with me, always spitting that knowledge. You got to come back in the next week or two because we ain't even really touched on the NBA, and the league is crazy right now. The league is crazy right now, man. This is one of the most entertaining seasons I've seen probably in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Crazy. So we got to get that. The Seahawks can go to hell. We both like New England. Go Pats, go. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. Alan, appreciate it again, bro. Good looking.
All right, man.
Y'all be good. Casey's Corner. Check me out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Get at me on Twitter at IMKDiddy. Same on Instagram. Y'all be good. Peace.
Niggas thinking that I'm solo. 50 deep, they like, oh no.